Good evening, audience. I'm Erica Hutchinson. I am the project coordinator for the PMI Central Illinois chapter. And I thought it would be great to meet with Florence, and I'll have her introduce herself. But basically, there was a global summit, PMI Global Summit 2022 in Vegas. And one of our VPs here went to it. So I kind of want to get an idea of what happened there, some takeaways and that type of thing. So let's introduce, who are you, Florence? What do you do for the CIC chapter, Central Illinois chapter?
Sure, happy to. So I am Florence Renee. I am the current VP of Publicity and Sponsorship for the chapter. I was recently in Vegas for 3 days, maybe 4 days with travel and everything else. And I got to attend my first PMI conference ever, which was a treat. And so I am here to just do a quick recap and tell you all about it.
Okay, that's good. Actually, you answered one of my questions because I was going to ask. So this was your very first time ever attending the Global Summit? Is
Yes,
that what you said? Okay,
yes, yes.
good to know. Well, then I'm curious, being that this was your first time, before going to the event, what were some of your expectations prior to attending? Like, what did you have in your mind before getting there?
I was expecting a lot of chapter sessions, chapter enhancement, chapter strategy topics, and they delivered on that front. And then some, because I was able to attend sessions about the chapter, about improving what I do with publicity, marketing, but I also went to sessions that were more about like my own professional development and topics that were of interest that I had no idea, like new frameworks. So they really covered a wide section of topics. This conference. Again, this was my first year, so I have nothing to compare it to, but I was very
Right.
pleased with the offering that I found. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds fun. So
Yeah.
basically it lived up to the expectation,
Yeah,
correct?
it did. And I
Mhm.
would say the keynote, we had three keynotes for the
Oh,
event. The first one
mm,
was Think Like a Futurist, and
okay.
that one was by Amy Webb.
Hmm.
She was amazing. And it's just basically about innovation, not staying with the status quo, why that's important.
Hmm.
Um, she challenged us to think differently, to think
Hmm.
about our work, not just for today, but also tomorrow and the day after, and so on and so
Hmm.
forth. Um,
Hmm.
we, I mean, the crowd, I think everybody was just excited to be out.
Hmm.
I think everybody just enjoyed themselves as
Okay.
far as the sessions were full.
Okay.
You could be in line, and the next thing you know, they told us the session is full, and you had to like do a mad dash to find the next available session. It was a very popular conference from what I experienced.
Okay.
Yeah,
Actually, that was my next question, because for some of us who weren't able to get there, such as myself,
yeah,
allow us to live vicariously through you.
yeah,
And I was going to ask you to give us your overall experience, and you
yeah.
have. Can you give us just a little bit more? For instance, who all did you see there that attended the events? Did you see some chapters? Were you excited to see some other chapters, especially those globally, like internationally, and
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
networking scene? What
yeah.
did that look like?
First of all, from CIC, Central Illinois, everybody went. So Pamela, the president, our
Hmm.
VP of Education, Julie Kaiser, VP of Membership, Ingrid Holiday, VP of Outreach, Dusty, Karen, our VP of Finance. We were all there. The only board member who was not in attendance was John, um, who's the VP of Operation. As far as chapters. I think chapters from all around the world made that trip to Vegas. And
Mhm.
I got to see people that I've been in touch with over LinkedIn. You know, you
Oh, that's
email
great.
these people, you like their articles or their posts. It was just nice to finally see them
Mhm.
um, in person. So I got to meet in person John Signo. He's the leader of the or
Oh,
founder
neat.
of
Yeah.
the Brain and Land Career Development Boot Camp that we've been doing every weekend or
Yes.
on Saturdays. I
Mhm.
got to meet with him, chatted with him a little bit. So many chapters. It got overwhelming, to be honest with you, because I'm a bit of a I don't know, I'm an ambivert. So
Mhm.
it got to a point where it was just like, I kind of need to, what's the other? I kind of have to pull back a little bit. It was just a
So,
lot
so,
of
so you can
people.
interact, with people, but you need to have that you time as well,
Yeah,
alone.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I am like a true ambivert because otherwise I would not have been able to deal with 3 days of like massive crowds of people. And
Mhm.
so I'm not as of an introvert as I used to think that I was. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was just everybody. We saw the Chicagoland chapter, they won the best chapter, like the chapter of the year award. So I got
Oh,
to
how,
see
how
them
does
in
one
person.
how does one get that prestigious
I guess
award?
it's a whole campaign and you submit your chapter and depending on the criteria, they do the selection at the end of the year in the conference. I don't really know what goes into it, but it is something that I would like for us one day to be
Hey.
recognized as as a happening chapter, as a chapter
Mhm.
that everybody, want to be a part of. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, they won it. So, and I'm a member of that chapter too. So I was proud to hear that they won. Um,
Great. Congrats, Chicagoland to you
yeah,
all. Yeah.
it's our sister chapter. We're
Yeah.
the second chapter for the state of Illinois. So
That
yeah,
sounds
it
good.
was it
And
was a
and and
very wonderful time.
And it was great that you were able to experience this with the other board members, within the CIC chapter as well. So you didn't feel alone,
Hmm.
So that's good that y'all could experience that together. And I know towards the end of this, this interview here, I know you're going to share just a couple pictures that you've had
Hmm.
that you took there, and we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah.
But real quick, I know that the total experience would be one that you'll never forget. And you gave us a little glimpse, but give me just a couple of takeaways that will truly remain with you forever, such as the learning tips or a speaker that might have just truly stood out to you.
Oh my gosh, I think the transformation session that I went, um, again, the Think Like Futurist session, the chapter marketing session that I went. I got to bring some issues that we could get more help from PMI, and the presenter was a PMI person, so she said she will take it back and hopefully have more advertising materials for sponsorship drives. That way, I'm not out here creating things from scratch. They'll
Mhm.
have promotional stuff for us, targeting sponsors.
Okay.
So I takeaway was to get involved, make sure people know what your issues are. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I asked so many questions and I was bombarded with input from other chapters. And
Mhm.
I got so many cards, from talking about my sponsorship challenges. I was able to connect to somebody from Germany, who's in the
Mm.
same position, and she has 25 sponsors already, but she wants more. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I want to be where you are. But she's
Yeah.
like, nah, that's not it. That's not good enough. Like, link up with me and I'm gonna show you how you can get your
Oh,
own
that's
25.
great.
So
Yeah.
that was the big takeaway, not being afraid to reach out to people, ask questions, and because people are willing to help you out and give you some input.
Yeah.
The other takeaway on a personal note is that volunteering pays. You can be you can have your PMP and have your day job, but when you volunteer, you put yourself out there, you get exposure. For me, my exposure took me to Vegas, and I was able to meet so many other people. And I finally got to meet my board members. I met Pam, I met Julie, I met Ingrid, I met Karen, I met
Yeah.
Dusty. It was just nice. So volunteering it pays dividends as far
Yeah.
as I'm concerned. So those are my takeaways. I know I kind of rambled, but
Oh,
there were
no.
so many. There were so
Yeah.
many.
And I know that with that networking, you hit it right on the nail with that. That's going to come in handy for the
Mhm.
sponsorship, because I know that that's one of the big goals pushing for this upcoming year,
Yeah,
2023,
right.
is some sponsors on board. So, hey, any sponsors out there, contact
Yes,
Florence. Would you like to give them your
yes,
email address to contact you, by the way?
yes, absolutely. And also just go on our chapter website, hit us up on social media. But my VP email is VP underscore publicity at PMI-CIC.org.
Perfect. And it was in Vegas. Did you have enough time to do and see everything there at the summit? Whether it was in the summit, did y'all venture out into Vegas and see some nice sights?
I'm out of shape, believe it or not. I walked enough from one session to another. It's like Caesars is huge.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's where they had it. Okay.
and then I didn't have a strategy as far as like grouping my sessions. So I was
Mhm.
walking from 8:30, 9 o'clock to like 4:30. So by
Okay.
the time I was done, I was
Mhm.
wiped out. So
Okay.
I had very little energy to go
Mhm.
out and walk on the strip.
Mhm.
But I enjoyed myself with what I
Yeah.
could do. I tried different restaurants inside, um,
Mm.
but I didn't really go out and see and do sightseeing tourist things.
Yeah, just not enough
Just was
time.
so tired, too
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
I think if I go again next year, I'll make sure I get my exercise on. That way I'm ready.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
stamina level will be up and I can
Yep.
be everywhere and be a social butterfly. Uh,
Yeah.
but I
That's what
had a good time. I had a good time nonetheless.
That's great. Speaking of next year, do you know where the Global Summit will be next year? And it sounds like you already have it in mind to attend, correct?
Too, because I think it was such a good experience this first time. And like I said, I would like to meet more people and more takeaways and see how I can do better
Mhm.
as a leader. I heard it might be in Atlanta, the next one, but I don't
Okay.
know. It has not been announced.
Mhm.
But wherever it is, I'm sure it's going to be a great one, just like the
Mhm.
biggest one was amazing.
That sounds great. And I know it was exciting for you. And I think you have some pictures to share. I know we don't have the time for you to share all of them, but I know some are on our social media platforms
Yes.
that you'll share with our audience. But can
Yes.
we see some of the pictures that you've taken and where
Yeah,
audience can go to see all of them?
absolutely. Obviously, go to our social media pages on LinkedIn. You can go to our Facebook page, or hit me up and then I will send you pictures or send you the right links to those. Let me share my screen.
Okay, perfect.
Am I sharing? Not yet.
And so on LinkedIn and the Facebook page, you'll find it
Yes.
under PMI Central Illinois chapter. Yep.
Yes. And let me
Oh,
exit that way you can see the name of the chapter on
okay. Okay.
so it's PMI Central Illinois chapter on Facebook.
Okay.
If you do hashtag PMI-CIC social media, you
Mhm.
will find us just about everywhere.
Okay.
Because we do tag with that to make
Okay.
things easier.
And the
But
CIC basically, so for people that may not know, although they should, CIC is short for Central Illinois chapter. Okay,
yes, yeah.
perfect.
So we did an album. So I was out there trying to learn, but I was also working, right? I was taking
Mhm,
pictures, making
mhm,
sure everybody was taking pictures and sending me their pictures that they wanted
mhm.
me to have for publicity, because publicity is a 24-hour job, right?
Yep.
So so I came back
Oh.
and I had enough content for an
Mhm.
album. And so we put together this album for social media. And you can kind of like, let me see.
I'm looking at some of them. Looks engaging. Look at that.
This is us at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. It's got
Oh, neat.
yeah, and this is him on the wall.
Ah, look, I love his shows. Yeah, I'm not gonna do any plugs, but I love his shows. Was the
This
food pretty good?
it was good. It was very good. I guess with him being the way that he is, his food better be,
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
let's see what else I can kind of pop in. And
I,
this
I,
is
s- yes.
me and John Signal of Brennan
Mhm.
Land, the
Okay.
founder of Brennan Land.
Perfect.
Um,
Perfect.
and this is us by the
Oh,
Vegas sign, but it was modified
the event.
for the event. So all six of us. Again,
Yeah.
John wasn't there, unfortunately.
Mhm. He was
Um,
there in spirit, though.
he was, and this is
Mhm.
Ingrid.
Mhm.
We one of the keynote speakers.
Okay.
We were just having a wonderful time. And this is me uh,
Love it.
meeting Pamela and Julie for the very first time.
In
Well,
person.
like our first picture together
Yes.
that night.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing. I love it. That's
Yeah.
great. And y'all stayed the event and y'all stayed at you said the Caesar's Palace?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was amazing. Like the
Yeah.
accommodations were great.
Mm-hmm.
The food was great.
Mm-hmm.
The people, the company was great.
Yeah.
I really I had a good time, and the lines
Yeah.
were long. I even took
Uh-oh.
a picture of the line. This doesn't
Oh
do
my.
it justice, to be honest with you.
This
I
is
just felt
line
like,
to get into an event, correct? Or
uh-huh,
into
into a
like a speaking.
session. Yep.
So for those that may attend next year, and of course they may change it up. So how does this work? Is it first come, first serve, or is
Yes.
there you
Yes.
pre-register?
Yeah, like
Okay.
I told you, you could be in line, and then next thing you know, they call out, hey, the session is full, the room is full. And it's like a
Mm,
very popular session that really that you want, maybe like a wood map. I know that happened to me
mm,
for a wood map session that I really wanted to go to. And then you stood there for like forever.
mm,
And
mm,
then you have to do a mad dash to try to find
yeah.
the next available session and try to like get yourself in there.
Yeah.
Again, I guess that's what makes it part of the it's part of the adventure, part of the
Yeah.
experience too. So
Yeah.
no complaints.
Just like at amusement park. Hey.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, well, I've enjoyed speaking with you. Like I said, I'm living vicariously through you, our audiences. And oh, this is cute. That is too funny. Y'all went to the Wizard of Oz, huh? And so before I close this out, I know this year has went by so fast. We had so many great takeaways for this year, great events. Anything to look forward to this upcoming year, 2023?
yes, absolutely. In fact, we just published the flyer, the event post for January 10th, which is our
Hmm,
kickoff event. This is our
okay.
chapter meeting where the very first chapter event where Pamela Clapp, the chapter president, she will go over, a little bit about 2022, what's in store for 2023. And then we have Janice Litvin, who is a wellness coach, and she will talk to us about preventing stress and burnout.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be again on January 10th from 5 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Again, all
Okay.
Zoom. We've been
Mhm.
using Zoom to do our events, and that will not change for 2023.
That's
And
great.
check the calendar because we're adding events, we're in discussions with potential speakers and with many potential speakers. So check the calendar and register for as many events as possible
Yeah.
for
Right.
2023.
Yep. Check out the newsletter
Yep.
also
Yep.
online. I know they keep that up to date. I know that
Yes.
you have the new board members for the upcoming year published there, and
Yep.
a lot going on. I'm excited to be part of this. I enjoy
Mhm.
volunteering with chapter,
Mhm.
and I do look forward to what's coming up. So
Yep.
again, thank you. Anything else you would like to say before you close it out for us?
Basically, the chapter needs every member, whether you have your PMP, you have some sort of Agile related designation or micro certification, whether you are working full-time and you think you don't have a lot of time to volunteer, we will find something to, that fits your time, your schedule, your interest. So make yourself known to the board, to the chapter leaders, so that we can kind of connect with you and get you involved. Without everybody involved, and that includes reading our emails, joining us on social media, liking our posts, all of that good stuff, like engagement, being involved, those are important. You can
Because
have your
we view that.
PMP.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we need that sort of thing to keep the chapter alive, to keep the energy level up. We need that, especially going into 2023, which is our 25th year. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be a big
great.
year for Central Illinois chapter. So we need
Okay.
everybody register to our events.
Mhm.
If you can't volunteer, at least support the events. Reach out to us, and
Mhm.
we'll try to connect and come up with something.
Yeah, sounds good. So basically, if you happen, to view a post, just real quick, you may not have the time to comment. We would like for you to comment, but just real quick, do a like,
Yeah,
do a funny sign of love. That it really helps with engagement
yeah,
and then interaction.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, well, thank you so much. I enjoyed this, and I know our viewers enjoyed it, and I'm sure down the line we'll do more sessions like this. Keep
Yes,
everyone in the
yes,
know. All right.
yes. And with the
Have a good one.
holiday coming up, so we don't have any other events for December. So everybody and yourself, enjoy the holidays,
Mhm.
be safe,
Yeah.
and come back for 2020, 2023, and we're gonna
Mhm.
be ready for you guys.
Yes, indeed. You as well. You and your family have a blessed holiday, and for everyone else, have a
Yeah.
blessed one and have a good one now.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Erica.
Thank you, Florence.
Bye.